What's up, guys? How's it going? My goodness, we're gonna just do another unboxing showcase review. Surprisingly, this is of a brand new Marvel Legends 2-pack Amazon exclusive for Silk and Doc Ock. Unusual pairing, but it is nevertheless a 2-pack of new Marvel Legends. But unfortunately, it is not new. These are basically repaints. There are some new aspects to it, which is pretty good, but it can all depend on if you are, like a hardcore collector of Marvel Legends. It can really depend if you want to save your money or if you're all into picking these two up. Here's my reason why. Well, let's get this right off the bat. This is actually my very first windowless package Marvel Legend. I've been trying to hunt down some of the other Spider-Man figures. Unfortunately, right now my targets do not have any in stock. But this, Amazon surprised me with the fact that this is shipping a lot earlier, a good like month early, almost 2 months early. So to have this in hand, I'll take it. I'm going to be a little bit nervous to see what's inside the box, considering the fact that we do not know how the paint apps are going to be. That's just basically the gamble that you take. Not to mention the fact that if you bought it in a store, who knows what could be in the box if it was tampered with. That is the reality that we're going to face. But right now, this came in the mail, so I'm not concerned that it's going to be a different product. This is going to be perfectly fine. We are going to be concerned about the paint apps though, so that's what we're going to take a look. Here is my thoughts on why this is possibly a pass for most of you. If you have already but purchased a Silk figure, you may not necessarily need this one, but there is a much more improved Silk figure, and we will go over that. But the Doc Ock, same idea. You may already have gotten this Doc Ock back on the SPDR wave. Perfectly fine. I think right now is just an added new head sculpt to it. So we'll take a look. We'll see what we got going on. So as you guys know, we will unbox this right here for you. So let's just go and see what we got. So in the box, of course, so here's our first windowless packaging box. Perfectly fine. It looks like they're using the digital renders of the figures. It's fine, I guess. I would want them to actually have the actual product to show. So just so you know what you're going to be looking at, because sometimes digital renders is not the exact product that you get. On the back of the box, you see the figure. We see an additional head sculpt, the other accessories. So we have, looks like some gripping hands, fisted hands, and the I guess you can call them wall crawling hands now. So we'll see if that actually is the fact. But this hand actually comes with webs. So that's a very nice addition. Not to mention that from the digital render, you can see that this is the all-new female pinless body and new head sculpt right here. And we'll compare with the older Silk body. This Doc Ock looks like we have a new relaxed head and additional hands. And of course, we have the tentacles that we already have been told that are not bendable. So that's why this could have been an easy pass if you already had the other one from the SPDR wave. But let's go ahead, take a look at what we got going on. So if you guys have not seen any of the windowless packaging, in my understanding, it's very similar to the Fortnite figures from Hasbro. And if you've gotten those before, you'll kind of know what you're expecting, so what you're going to see. So let's see what we got. We got some accessories right here. Of course, the disclaimer notice. And let's see what is going to happen. All right. So there you go. Now we got an empty box. And looks like we have some tentacles here, some tentacles here. And of course, Doc Ock is right there. And we have Silk right there. Cindy Moon, of course. So this is what it looks like when it's packaged in there. not too much. You just take it apart. So since these tentacles are already out of, or not inside any type of tissue paper, we'll leave that off to the side. And let's just package this right here. All right, guys, here we go. So all out of the box, all accessories laid out. It's not bad. We will see and compare and contrast everything that we got going on. So first thing, let's go with Doc Ock. Now, I used to have the original Doc Ock from the SPDR wave. I believe it was much darker in the green, and these yellows were a little bit more subdued, but this version is a much brighter green. It's very highlighted, so I'm okay with this. It's actually really nice. The head sculpt is actually done very nicely too, so I'm actually very happy with it. But everything is exactly the same. I don't really see any issues. Plus, I don't see any paint issues either, so it looks really good. There's not much to complain about. I feel like the legs might be a little bowed for the most part, but just a little heat, I think I can fix that up. It does bend like that if you make his leg really straight, but I mean, you just gotta mess around with that in the joint. So like I said, it's just a reissue. There's nothing different at all with this, but I guess we can be okay with it. Now, like I said, with the head is definitely a nice touch. I can't remember from the SPDR wave if it was this head or this head that was the original, but even so, this sculpt is still awesome. They did a great job with the sculpts here. The hair looks like it's a separate piece and then it's just glued on, considering how it is like that. So that's why I seem it to be new, as well as the eyes. You can see the eyes underneath right there. You can lift up the glasses. Now, I say that lift up. You can lift up the glasses. You cannot remove the glasses. It seems like they're glued in, or right over the ear. But that's cool to see. You can see his eyes right there. The sculpt is very well done. I like it very much so. Yep. So nothing wrong here with the sculpt or the paint. And of course, he does come with the pair of fisted hands as well as the grabby hands. The grabby. I call it grabby. I don't know why I call it grabby, but I guess the expressive hands. Okay, so we will put this head sculpt back on. Let's see. Now, the tentacles, from what I remember, these are, it's like, this is like the silver plastic, and that's it. It's not painted, from what my understanding of it, how it looks. So it doesn't really have like a silver gloss or any kind of silver really. So it's okay. I feel like I want to paint these to a much darker silver. It like needs a black wash or something, but it's the exact same tentacles from before. It seems like these are more wild in its sculpt, while these are just rounded, and they all have a blue paint color right there for each of the claws. So I believe, if I remember correctly, it doesn't matter which one you insert these in. I mean, they all have some kind of label right on the end of it all, but I think you can just insert them in. There's no real like snap when you plug them in. It's just insert it and then there you go. So you can put them here, or I could take it, put one there. I guess it all varies depending upon how you want to display your figure. And considering how long these tentacles are, this is pretty wild. I can pretty much maneuver them as I see fit. And of course you can turn them and make them go any which way you want to. So it all depends. I'll just plug them in for now, and then we can see and push them off to the side just so we can, you know, mess with Cindy Moon over here. There's Doc Ock for you. Now, Silk, Miss Moon. I love it. It's funny because I'm a big fan of Silk. So to have Silk is actually awesome for me. I had a lot of trouble finding the Silk from the Space Venom Build-A-Figure wave, but this one is so much better than it. So much better. Now, I did have issues right off the bat when I inspected this figure. So there are some paint blemishes right above the thigh area here. It's not too bad. There is a white splotch right here. And you can see the lining on the white is kind of like, it's not straight. That's also the other issue. Some of the red is coming out over here as well. And then here, right at the shoulder, it's overlaid too much on the stripe. There's small problems, but you know, they did it on the original figure and it worked out pretty well. So I guess that's why I have to do it. Now the head sculpt looks great. I actually enjoy the head sculpt because she actually looks Asian, for one. My only gripe, unfortunately, is right under her chin. You see this little plastic that's coming off? There's like a seam line right at her chin that does not look good. Normally you wouldn't see it when you're doing face up, but there's this plastic, excess plastic, I guess, from the seam line right there. So that's disappointing, but luckily it's not too bad. It's not really apparent on the other head, of course, because it's the same sculpt regardless, but it still looks good. They did a great job with the digital printing. Very, very nice. Okay. And with her accessories, we do have her mask right here that you can insert and play with. And of course she has 3 sets of hands. She's got fisted hands, and I guess you can call it the expressive hands right there, and the grabby hands, just like that. There's a piece there we go. But this one is really cool because coming right out of the comics, because the webs come right out of her fingers. That looks cool as hell. Very nice. I like that. I really do. And I guess it comes out where it's spinning around her arm too. So, there we go. Oh, look at that. It's a clear peg, but I can see that there's no articulation in the hand because there's no joint right there. I guess that's all right, considering she's going to be, if she were to do it. Oh, let's wrap this around. Yeah, not too bad. That's really cool. I like that. That's a great accessory. Very nice. Okay, so let's get into a comparison, at least with Silk, for the mere fact that it's like a whole new figure. It really is. It's a brand new, whole new figure. And the reason why is because of the figure is the whole new female body. It's a great body, and I love the fact that we have the females with much better articulation. So here is the original Silk figure that came from the Space Venom wave. Thank you to Ryan Laserpants81. He was able to acquire this one for me, and I've always greatly appreciated it. So this was the old female body. It's got of course, it's got the pins on the double jointed knees, but I'm sure it's practically the same legs, but not as, gummy, because you can see the difference between the two. And the elbows, of course, single jointed elbow versus the double jointed, beautiful elbow that you can get from that. That is incredible. Chest pretty much seems the same. Same with the torso, but once again, this is still all new sculpt. It is still an all new sculpt. You can see the difference between the two, especially in the hip area. And then of course the face. The face is a huge, huge difference. Look at that. This one, much depending upon who drew her in the comics, I can see more of an Asian descent in this one versus this one. And this was a beautiful head sculpt to begin with. I like this head sculpt a lot, and it was reused a lot for female legends, a whole lot. And why I say that is because it looks like this face was a Black Widow, as well as a Mary Jane face. There are some discrepancies, like here's Mary Jane, and then there's Silk. It's almost similar. If I had a Black Widow that actually had that face, you could definitely see the difference between the two. But you can see you got this long flowing hair versus the short bob cut, which is still just as cool. So, all right. That's it for that comparison, but it had to be done because the Silk figure, as great as this was, and of course we got the new fan vote one, which, again, the fan vote, I didn't open it, by the way. I didn't open the fan vote, but here's the fan vote one. The fan vote was the all-new paint, right? They did all the all-new paint, and it seemed like they did a great job with it. But it was still the original body of this. So regardless, I'm all for the new female body. All right, real quick with articulation, as we know. So we can move the head, of course, left and right. Granted, if the scarf is not in the way, scarf or handkerchief or mask. She can get a little bit of some tilt to have some more expression. She can look up only that far. Unfortunately, the short hair, as short, it gets in the way in the back, but she can look down pretty much all the way. Her arms can go much higher than the T-pose. The bicep swivel, the double jointed elbows, which is amazing for a female figure. When we have that diaphragm rocker joint, which is awesome as well. The only problem with the females of Marvel Legends is if they can create some kind of waist swivel, or that would be awesome. She's got an upper thigh cut with a double jointed knee, and they're both pinless, by the way. And of course, the ankle pivot. Can she split? Pretty much, almost, not too bad. But with this female body, I love it. It's absolutely wonderful. So good with this female body. And with Doc, we're going to try this with the tentacles in the way. Same exact thing, which is it's the same body. So we do have neck rotation, not really any tilt. He can look, nope, he cannot look up because it just cuts off right there. He cannot, there you go. He can look down that far. His arms, can go right at the T right there with the bicep swivel, the double jointed elbow. Then unfortunately these are really gummy too. It's you can see it kind of wobble and bend on there. He's got the diaphragm joint, so he's got some very, very good range. Not so much though when you're going forward, but back is pretty well. Double jointed knees. At the same time, we do have the upper thigh cut, which is great, and then the ankle pivot, which is also very nice. Okay, so here we have them standing right next to Miles, and there we have them standing right next to Mary Jane, and there we have him right next to Black Costume Spider-Man. And we might as well have a Build-A-Figure, which technically was just a deluxe figure. Here we have Monster Venom. Well guys, there you have it. This is the end of the review. I'm pretty much happy with this entire 2-pack set. I am a big fan of Silk, so for getting a brand new Silk figure, and in my opinion it is a brand new Silk figure because it's a whole new body, whole new head sculpts, new accessories, everything is new with this figure. It's basically a brand new figure. Doc Ock, unfortunately, is the same exact one with just a new head sculpt and additional hands. Even so, because I don't have a Doc Ock anymore, I am gladly welcoming this 2-pack, so I'm actually happy that I did get this 2-pack. For some of you, like I said before, you might kind of, you know, decide not to get it, and that's okay, because you know what, you may already have the Silk figure, and of all things you may already have the Doc Ock figure. But I'm glad I got it. I'm extremely happy with the new body for females. It's so much better, so articulated in my opinion. But I am very happy with this 2-pack. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was probably a bit lengthy, but I'm pretty much trying to cover as much as I can when it comes to repaints or repacks. So there you guys have it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. Make sure you comment. Want to hear your thoughts about it. And also subscribe if you're new, because if you guys are new, I would greatly appreciate it. The mere fact I'm trying to reach my 4,000 subscriber goal is a huge deal for me, and I would greatly appreciate your support. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you soon. Hope to see you on the next hunt.